Good morning, it's 12:01 a.m., and you're listening to Metal After Midnight. I'm your host, Emerson Sanborn. I'll be bringing you the best of classic metal and a few deep cuts you won't find on the average playlist. Let's start off with a favorite of mine from the second studio album by the English rock band Black Sabbath, released in September 1970. Reaching number 4 on the UK singles chart, I present Paranoid.
Hi kids! Welcome to Questions and Answers with Mr. Bunch, a show where I answer your questions as best I can. Today's first question is from Jesse in Calumet City, Illinois, in the United States of America. Jesse asks, Dear Mr. Bunch, why does the popsicle melt and make my fingers sticky?
We're back. It's the bottom of the fifth. The Springfield Sidewinders have the field and lead 8-1 over the Middletown Muskrats. Gupta's on the mound. O'Connell is at bat with Boega on deck. Here comes the first pitch. A fastball. Swing and a miss.
Hey buddy, good to see ya. Did you know Tommy's back? Yeah, he's living with his ma. I seen him when I was at the Packy, getting a couple of scratches. No, the one near St. Margaret's. Anyway.
Goodness gracious. I wasn't expecting you this soon. I'm not ready, and the whole place is a mess.
Oh, you're too kind. Please, sit down wherever you like. Oh, by the way, don't touch anything that looks deadly. Better still, don't touch anything. I'll be back in a tick.
Oi, lass. Are there any other lasses around here? Of course I'm talking to you. Oi, you're a handsome bird, but not that swift, are you? Listen, have you seen a toad around here? I don't have all day, lassie. Have you seen a toad or not? See, she knows what a toad is. Well, have you, lass? Have you seen a toad today? All right, just a tick. Lass, if you see the toad, call out, Mr. Fox! You can do that, right? Excellent. We're off then.
Knowing that sleep was utterly out of the question, and that 1 or 2 more thrills would make very little difference to my already shattered nerves, I replied that I would listen eagerly to anything she could tell me, however horrible. My permission thus gained, and gained so readily, Miss MacDonald, not without, I noticed, 1 or 2 apprehensive glances at the slightly rustling curtains, began her narrative, which ran, as nearly as I can remember, as follows. The 7 Ages of Man, from As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 7.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits, their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages.
Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2.
What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form, in movement, how express and admirable in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals.
Othello, Act 3, Scene 3.
Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse, steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing, 'twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of what which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed.
There could be no doubt of the fact. Princess Ozma, the lovely girl ruler of the fairyland of Oz, was lost. She had completely disappeared. Not one of her subjects, not even her closest friends, knew what had become of her. It was Dorothy who discovered it. Dorothy was a little Kansas girl who had come to the land of Oz to live and had been given a delightful suite of rooms in Ozma's royal palace, just because Ozma loved Dorothy and wanted her to live as near as her as possible, so that the two girls might be much together. Dorothy was not the only girl from the outside world who had been welcomed to Oz and lived in the royal palace. There was another named Betsy Bobbin, whose adventures had led her to seek refuge with Ozma, and still another named Trot, who had been invited, together with her faithful companion Captain Bill, to make her home in this wonderful fairyland. The three girls all had rooms in the palace and were great chums. But Dorothy was the dearest friend of their gracious ruler, and only she at any hour dared to seek Ozma in her royal apartments. For Dorothy had lived in Oz much longer than the other girls, and had been made a princess of the realm.